everybody, this is Tina with Loving Life's Little Blessings, and I have a quick card I'm going to show you today. And actually this video might be a little bit long because it's a lot of different steps. So first I wanted to share with you that I used my Big Shot for this project. I used this embossing folder. This is the chevron embossing folder, and with our embossing folders that Stampin' Up! Has, you cannot run them through your Big Shot this way. They don't fit. So they hang off a little bit, and most of the time it doesn't matter. Like here's the wood grain one, and it doesn't necessarily matter if you ran it through this way and you wanted to put the design this way, it wouldn't necessarily matter. But with the chevron design particularly, if you want your chevron pattern to go this way across a card, which is what I wanted it to go this way instead of up and down because my card opens this way, then what I have done is I have just trimmed off the end of my embossing folder. So I just wanted to share that tip, and then it runs right through your embossing and through your Big Shot, and it will work. Okay, so that's what I did. So I started with that. I started with an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock. I cut that in half at 5.5, and then I ran it through my embosser and got this design. Okay, so the next thing that I've done, I'm going to zoom way in. Sorry about that. So let me turn on a light. That's better. And you hear Andrew because it's about 9 o'clock at night and he wants me to put him to sleep. So this is a piece of our fall type paper. It's the sweater weather paper. And I've just cut that at 1 inch, 1 inch by, or maybe it's 1.5 inches. Let me just double check. Nope, 1 inch. 1 inch by 5.5. And I'm going to use my grid on my mat, and I'm going to put it up about halfway. That reaches all the way across. Okay, so the next thing I've done is I've punched out a pumpkin pie piece of cardstock. I've used this punch. This is the 2.5 inch punch. Then this is a piece of Whisper White cardstock. Oh goodness, he is very mad. And I've used my framelits to cut this circle out, and it's the 5th framelit. It's the 5th circle framelit. And it fits perfect as a layer for this punch. It's just a really, really thin layer, okay? So we're going to do some stamping on this, and what I've done, this is the stamp that I have, and as many of you know, I don't do anything Halloween related. So what I've done, okay, sorry about that. He's really spoiled. I put him to sleep every night. I know, but he's my last baby. So I just have really spoiled him, and it's that time of night, and he wants his mama. Okay, so I cut off Halloween Happiness, and then I also cut out this pumpkin that has the face in it, and then I just smushed it back together. So I really love pumpkins. They are my favorite, and these pumpkins are super cute. They're whimsical type pumpkins, and I love them, and so I wanted to be able to use them. So now I have 3 markers. I have Pumpkin Pie, Cajun Craze, and then this is Gumball Green. So the Cajun Craze, I'm going to use the brush tip of my marker, and I'm going to color in the middle pumpkin. And then I'm going to take the Pumpkin Pie brush tip, and I'm going to color in the 2 other pumpkins. And then I'm going to take the Gumball Green brush tip. And you can see I'm not trying to go fast or anything. I'll re-moisten the ink when I'm all done. I just want to make sure that I get really good coverage. When you use this technique, sometimes if you're not careful, you will not get as much of coverage as if you were using a stamp pad. So I'm just making sure that I really give that coverage. I'm doing my marker all in one direction, so the ink is going on the stamp in one direction. So then I'm just going to breathe on this stamp. And then what I do is I get way down and I look under that stamp to see where that circle is to stamp on. Pretty good, pretty good. So now I'm gonna take my pumpkin pie marker and I'm gonna do dash lines only on the top of the circle. Okay, so it's halfway done. Then I'm taking my blender pen and I'm grabbing more mustard ink pad, which is retired. We no longer have this color. So I'm sorry about that, but I love it. I could not get rid of it. So then I'm just taking a blender pen and my image, I'm gonna zoom way in so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so here's my image. Here's my stamp pad, it's opened. I have a bunch of ink up here. I'm taking this ink and I'm pulling it away and like kind of getting it so it's not so dark, because right now it's really, really dark on there, and the more I take and move that around, the more ink is going to come off of there, okay? So then I'm just going to start in the middle of these pumpkins, and I'm just going to give it some color. And I'm going all around the bottom and kind of up around those pumpkins, and I'm doing that to kind of give it a way to be grounded. So again, when you first put your pen down, your blender pen down, it's gonna have more ink, and then I'm just coming in from the sides to give it color on the bottom part of this. This is not watercolor paper, it's just Whisper White paper. And so you got to be really careful because it will start to kind of, like it did right there, it's kind of balling up a little bit. The paper, as it's getting moist, is, you know, because it's not watercolor paper. Thanks. Okay, that came right out of that stamp set. And I'm just going to use my marker and the brush tip. I'm doing that in Cajun Craze. Oh, I think I colored that off camera. I forgot to zoom back out. And then I stamped thanks on there. So now I can layer this piece onto my pumpkin pie. We're just going to do that with snail adhesive. I just want this layer to be flat. And then we can bring my card back over. Sorry about that shadow, it's really bad. It's late here. So then I'm gonna take washi tape. This is the Halloween washi tape. These chevrons are really, really cute. And I'm just taking a piece and I'm going to put it right on the bottom here. Now with this washi tape, you can just tear it. The edge of it will just tear because it's, you know, really thin. And then we're going to take our circle. This got bent, so I'm just gonna add some more adhesive. And then I'm gonna take dimensionals. And we're gonna place that right on there, and then that's it. That's the card. So really super simple, but I love how those pumpkins came out, and this stamp set Fabulous Phrases fit perfect on there. So I was really struggling on how to get a sentiment on there when I designed the card, and that ended up working out perfectly. So anyways, guys, thanks so much for coming by, and I will talk to you later.